So now we are in 2021. The guy started the business. His business has been growing steadily. And of course, he is somebody who can rake even in a profit of $500,000 per month at the moment. That was in 2018. Those two properties, which he invested $500,000, 200 and 300, do you know what they are worth today? They are worth 1.6 million shillings. When I sat with him, I realized this was a focused and a driven individual. You don't take life for granted. You don't think things will work for themselves. Nothing works until you do the work. You have to remember that. Nothing works by what people call miracles. No, forget. You have to make things happen. And that's what he has been doing. He looks for opportunities. He doesn't waste any month. What I'm trying to say, this guy, by the time he's 35, 40, he'll be a multimillionaire. So easily. You can imagine how much his investment will be worth with the same formula. And he just joined a circle. And that is one of the mechanisms. That is Chris for you. Right now, he's already a millionaire. Maybe worth even going to 10 million. It's very possible looking at his investment and the income and the business he's operating. And of course, he is living way below his means. Not like some of us who did big courses, went to the university, became a lawyer, a doctor, wherever. But right now, because of our classes, there are things we don't do. There are places we can't live. You have to know the season you are in life. It is very important. I have to share that. You have to know at what point you are in life to know what you can do, where to stay, which kind of clothes you can buy, the budgets, whether to buy a car, whether you need to do public transport, whether to live in a two-room houses, two-bedroom. You need to know at what point you are. But as long as from very early you take care of the basics, especially investment, by the time you are 30, most of us have not figured our lives. If you have not, you still have a chance. But by the time you are 30, you'll have figured where you are going, and you'll be worth even millions. Is very possible. That is Chris. Personally, I was employed. And of course, I started with small jobs for a long, long time. I did freelancing, having done IT. And I used to, one of the websites that I made in the year 2009, after I left university, college, was Laikipia County website. Laikipia West constituency, sorry. I later did the county website. I think I was paid 25,000 with serious KPIs. I realized I could freelance, earn 25,000, depending on the client. Others were paying 5,000. That's how I survived. Of course, I was using my skill. Before I landed a job somewhere that was paying me 30,000, by the way. Of course, as a young man who came from a humble background, I had to take care of basics back at home, which I did meticulously, taking care of some basic. And of course, it took me some time and money for me to be able to be stable and being able to invest. But one of the regrets I have is when I was in college, just here in Thika Road, I used to see these plots being advertised. Places called Kalimoni, 25,000 for an eighth of an acre. Of course, I knew what would happen by the, I was not quite serious. Now, I regret a bit, but not so much because I have learned what works. Of course, I looked for a job, got one for 30,000 and kept moving. If you're in employment, there are things you can take advantage of. Just like my friend Chris. Do you know even when you're in employment, you're earning 30,000. You'll be promoted, you earn 40, you'll earn 50, you go to 70, you'll keep going up. Just like Chris, do you know you can also join a circle, be paying 10,000, just live below your means, live in a place you don't need to, you see? Some of us, especially young, we are trying to get following in social media, become a big person, all these things. You want, it takes time, my friend, and it is not worth it. When it comes, it will. That fame you are looking for will come. Those millions will come, but it takes time. You need to understand this. So when you're in employment, when I got into employment, for me, I was very keen in starting a business because that is one of my passions. I didn't knew I'm a guy who was destined to do business. And that's why all my focus and everything I was doing was focused toward that. So I joined a circle, used to save, I think, 3,000 at the beginning, increased to 5,000. I also joined an investment cooperative. We used to make dividends every year for the years I served there. And I also had some small savings. One of the things I realized about employment, and I keep saying this, you can add bonuses, some every month, some every year for most companies. You can make something called per diems, where you are paid some good money when you go outside the country, or even here locally, a lump sum. There are people who made overtime. If you are working on support jobs, be a doctor, a nurse, you work in IT operations where you work even at night, you get allowances and overtime, some good money. Please budget that money and push some towards investment. So I learned all those when I was employed. There are opportunities, so many opportunities. And remember, as you do those investments, you're also growing in your career. So you have two lines. One is investment to make you rich, another, or to make you wealthy. Another one is your career. You keep increasing your salary every month. And I have to say this at this point. You don't need to be an entrepreneur, a business one, to become wealthy. No. If your calling or if your passion is not in business, don't try to do that. And even a very good example. How much is the CEO of KCB paid? Cooperative Bank. These people are paid, I read one report, 300 million per year. How many people in business can make that money? So what I'm telling you, can also grow in your career and earn millions of money. But remember, those people, they have taken years to get there, right? But as they took those years, they started investing from the time they were employed. Do you know investments grows faster than your salary? I think now you should know that. No one gets rich from their salary. No one gets rich just by saving. But people get rich through investment. And that is the magic formula here. So there are two things for you to move from 30,000 salary or 30,000 business income to a millionaire. Number one,